Hi, it's Di from My Enchanted Journals. Today I've got a real treat for you. I'm going through my Keeper of Memories journal. Come on, let's see what I did. Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you through my Keeper of Memories journal after I did the course with Alex Castroferreira, and I thought you'd just like to have a look through. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's actually, you need to construct it. It's like a construction. So let me just show you. This is the cover that goes around the outside. If you haven't done Alex's course, you really should go over and have a look because it's awesome. Sort of like a board that you do, I guess, but there's lots of things on it. So I made sort of a little button here, and this has got a little message underneath from my grandfather. Okay, I'll do that up in a minute. And you can see by turning it around, it's like a big cover. It has recipes and things on it that mean something to me. Let me just move that out the way. And you open it up, and again it has pictures inside. Let me just put the journal to one side for one moment, and you'll see here I've made a pocket, and this fabric and the fabric on the front were all ones that I did with the rust dyeing, and you can see they've turned out really well. But I've got another video on that as well, so you can go and have a look at that. And that's just a little slot for a little letter I wanted to put in there. But yeah, all pictures. So that's just the cover that I've made. Let's put that to one side as well, and I'll grab the journal. And here she is, the Keeper of Memories journal from Alex's course. So I hope you can see that. So Alex actually had matchboxes on hers, but I decided to make a heart out of cheesecloth and a little ring here. This is actually a hat pin that belonged to my great-grandmother. This is to symbolize me because I'm now the current keeper of memories for my family. And I used some bark from a tree, and you'll see if I turn it on its side that the construction is really quite magnificent. It has hinges. Can you see those? And then that's the back cover. So you actually take a book apart to make the covers. So let's have a flick through and see. So what I love is when you open it up, look at that, you get to see the actual construction. So that's like a piece of stick that I've put in there, and the hinges, can you see them? Absolutely magnificent. And you can see the title of the book was The Golden Book of English Verse. It's got a little pocket there, which is really cute. And then these are photographs of my parents that I photocopied and then attached them in using my own thoughts about how I wanted to do that. And then this is like a doily that I also dyed and put in with a rusty nail. My grandma's recipe for moggy, which is a Lancashire recipe. And there's another piece of that rust dyeing. And underneath, this page goes over the page. So it is really like a construction, a bit of slow stitching there. Some old concert tickets that I found when I was looking through some stuff. Ted Mulry Gang and Kiss. Goodness me, I could never go to a Kiss concert now. And me at the age of about 16. And then this is my dad at about the same age. So I wanted them on the two pages like this to do the comparison. This page was about my grandfather. He owned a desk like this, so that was really cute to find that. And then he was mad philatelist, so he collected stamps. That's about him. This here is a tag that I made out of a tea bag, and I've actually got a video on my YouTube channel as well about that, about doing things with tea bags. And this is a bit of Amazon paper that I also rust dyed. Came out really well. You can see it better there. Look at the colours. It's just absolutely magnificent. It's really come out well. This is the original telegram that was sent on the night that I was born to my great-granny. And this is the last letter that she ever wrote me. So I stuck that inside there. That's just a paper bag. And then this is the actual telegram. So obviously I didn't use the actual telegram, I did copies, but yeah, it just came out really well. And then I covered it with matte medium, and it's like protected and come out sort of thick. It's come out really well. This is a flap that I made out of the rust-dyed fabric. That's my great granny. And then there's another little flap here with some of her writing on it. And then here is a pocket, so you can see the pocket goes right through there. And then I attached another page in the middle, and it's got some old receipts and a copy of an old letter she sent me. That was me and my husband when we were courting. Feels like a long time ago now. And you can see the rust dyeing here came out really, really well. This page here is about my grandfather. I've still to add a photograph here. So the whole Keeper of Memories is something that carries on. You don't just finish it. It's something that you can carry on. So this has got an old coin on here from the king that was before Queen Elizabeth. And my grandfather said he used to remember a carriage drawing up to the house because they were quite wealthy when they were younger. So somebody lost all the money along the way because we're not wealthy. But yeah, this sort of reminded me of him, so I did a page on that. And this is the centre page, which I've sewn in just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And you can see there where I rust dyed, but I also used salt, and that is on the rust dyeing video. But it's come out really well, and the pages are sort of rough, and I really love how they've come out. Just gives that extra bit of texture. You can see it again there. You can see the rust dyeing there. And there. And that's the other pocket, and these are my handmade tags that I make, and they're for sale on my Etsy shop. But I just thought I'd stick one in there. It looks really nice with the string just sticking out. But you can see the rust dyeing again. It's come out really well. It just looks gorgeous, the colours. Really happy with that. That was just a page from a book that I stuck in. So it's a work in progress. There's lots of blank pages still. That's the other side of that flap that I showed you before, and the other side of the bag. Okay, it's my husband with the 2 kids when they were little, the baby just been born. Another one of those flaps. That's me the day that the youngest was born and his big brother. So I love that photograph. And my mum and dad when they were courting, so I've put that in a heart. That's really cute. And that paper there, that's the rust dyeing. So what I did was I coffee dyed it and then I rust dyed it. So it's come out really well. You get lots of different, colours happening and textures. It's just gorgeous. That's another pocket that I've got there. It's actually a belly band, so I can tuck stuff into that. And again, that was just an old page, and I've reinforced it there. This is my grandma. I remember back in the day we all used to have autograph books. She wrote in mine. That's my grandma and grandpa there, and a little bit of the same bark that is on the cover, and an old calendar. Photograph of me and my grandma, and this made me laugh. I saw a thing in a magazine, an article, and it said a dinner party for 6 people. Well, anybody that knows my grandmother will have a laugh with that, because you could turn up at any time of the day and night and she would put on a huge spread, and it just made me laugh to see that. It just reminded me of her, so I added that as well. You can see the hinges here attached to the back of the first signature, and they're really secure. Great. My grandfather was in the war and he was in Cairo for a little while, so I've put in some older things that were his. And this is an old film strip, me and my husband taken probably 2 years ago now, at Christmas. That's when my hair was still dark. My grandparents, G&G, grandma and grandpa, absolutely love that picture. They were just so happily married, and were married for, I think, 53 or 54 years before my grandma died suddenly. And I like the headings. Sometimes I choose pages for what they say. This says times go by turns. Seems very appropriate for a Keeper of Memories. This page I just did out of a book, and I just highlighted the lines that I actually wanted. And it's just something different to put in your Keeper of Memories or into your journals. But yeah, just something different. My mum and dad when they were courting, I really like that. And I've just done a bit of stenciling. That's some old wallpaper. So it just adds lots and lots of layers, and you can see all the layers here sitting Lots of interest. You don't know what's coming next, which is really good. That's my dad when he was a young rocker. I've stuck that in the pocket there. Now here is something that I've got to work on. So again, it's more rust-dyed, a little doily and a picture of my grandparents. So I might come back to that in a minute if we have time and work on that page together, just to show you what I would do and my thought processes. That's me and my husband in Bali. That's one of our happy places. So I've put happy and Bali. And again, that's more rust dyeing. You see how that's come out? Oh, it just looks fabulous. Love it. So yeah, go to my rust dyeing video and have a look how I did all those. So that was really good. You see here, the book covers that I used, the book back and front that I pulled apart, I used the spine as well. And it just adds interest to the edge of that page. Plenty of pages still yet to work on. That was me on my wedding day, which I really loved the photograph. I was just getting out of the old car, and your story matters. And it does, all of our stories matter. That's the middle of the second signature. And I've got a pocket there made out of that beautiful fabric. So what it was just an old doily, and then I coffee dyed it, like I said, and then I put it through the rust dyeing. And they've come out so beautiful. The colouring is just exquisite. So, yep, really, really happy with how that turned out. And I love all the edges, all the different edges sticking out. There, a little bit of rust dyeing. Again here, there's a couple of pages there. You can see it's come out really well. And again here. You know two will be the same. That's the salt again there. But if you do Alex's class, she tells you what to do with the salt. And then I also did a video on what I did. Again, it's the Amazon paper. So whenever I'm doing a project, I put Amazon paper down or something underneath the project. Then when I'm finished stamping, I'll just stamp onto that spare paper and then use it in journals. That's a bit of the vintage wallpaper again. This list of authors and poems, a life well lived, a soul well loved. And I feel about that, about everybody that's gone before me. Again, the rust dyeing. And then I love this, the list of authors and poems. So this was in the book. And then what I thought I would do is do like a family tree and put all the people going all the way down, because that is the list of authors of my particular story. Book pages that mean something to you as well. It just adds another layer to what you're doing. Gorgeous how it turned out here. Just a doily there, which is a little tuck spot. And my husband, he's Scottish, so it's him and his kilt. And he's always so happy. So that really just epitomises the look of him. He's just a gorgeous man. And that you can see again the hinges that I put to the back cover. And then I just closed the inside of the back cover with a piece of just paper that I coffee dyed at the same time. And then I found this saying, there was a woman that journaled, so I stuck that on there. And then I just did a bit of slow stitching. Now, slow stitching is not about an embroidery lesson. Slow stitching is something that you do to relax. You don't think about it, doesn't have to be neat. Please don't tell me that my stitching looks awful, because that's not the idea of it. It's just to relax. Okay, and we go over the page. And that is the back of the journal. But what you can see, can you see all the layers? Just gorgeous amount of layers, look. Ooh. So much to see, so much to do. You don't know what's coming. There's all different layers up here, right the way down, different layers down here. And you just want to flick through it and have a good look. So yeah. Thank you for that. And what I might do now is have a look and see about doing a page together. All right, so we said we would do this page here. Now just off screen, I just attached the doily. I hope you can see there with a nail and a bit of slow stitching. So the beauty of this is it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not one of those perfect florally little journals. This is a keeper of memories. It's stuff, you know, look at it, it's stuff. So I've done that off camera, and that will be then a flip. So I didn't want to take away from the picture of my dad when you open up this page. I really like that. So I thought what I'd do is a flip and then put, this is the photograph of my grandparents on their wedding day. So that's a copy. I just did it onto paper. So I'm now going to do something and put that onto that page. So let's have a look at that now. I've just done a photocopy for now, and I can always go back and change it afterwards. So I just use the Tim Holtz Distress Ink tea dye. I really like that one. Looks good. Okay, let's see what else we can get to put on there. I haven't added any colour to this, but you can see just by putting it down on the page that it gives that little bit more texture, and I really like that. It looks great. Quite aged on the page. So now I'm just going to wait for that to dry a little bit, and then we'll see about putting our picture on. Alright, so I just got some old wallpaper, and what I've done is just cut a square out of it, and I thought what I would do is just make a frame that sort of looked vintage and stick their picture behind it and see how we go. Actually, we could have done that, couldn't we? And had that. That would look quite cute. Oh yeah, maybe we should do that. An old photograph behind the frame. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you've taken the course, let me know below.